Okay. Hi guys, it's Ruth from Be Balanced, and this is my fourth chat in the series of One Size Fits One, health and wellness from a bio-individual perspective, which sounds like quite a mouthful. Today, I'm talking to Mike Butterworth. Hi, Mike.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm well. I'm just aware that it may say my name's Tracy Pickles on the screen. I've borrowed somebody else's Zoom account, so it's with not Tracy Pickles.
Thank you very much for clarifying that, just in case anybody was wondering. Okay, so today we're going to have a little chat about your health, your well-being, your exercise, how you sort of go about your life, really. And I've known you a long time, and I've noticed that you've always been into health and fitness, haven't you? You've always exercised, you've always kept yourself nice and trim and everything. But over the last couple of years, you seem to have really ramped it up quite a lot. And I'm just wondering what the driver for that was to start with.
Well, initially it was kind of aesthetic, really. I mean, you said that I kept trim and kept fit, and I've always exercised. But I caught sight of a picture of myself that somebody took, and I noticed I was age about 45 then, yeah. And the spare tire had just begun to kind of creep over the waistband, and I just thought I didn't want that to happen. It's a funny age, isn't it? Around those sort of middle years when your work is probably at its busiest, your children are probably at their most demanding. It's quite easy to allow your own personal fitness to sort of gradually drop down the level of importance. So yeah, I just decided to rein it in and get back in shape.
Excellent. Yes, I agree. You sort of lose your me time a bit when you're running around after the kids and doing work, don't you? So you managed to claw it back, and you set yourself a pretty high goal, which you managed to achieve last weekend. So do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I guess there's one step in between. I did set the goal of doing an Ironman distance triathlon, which I achieved last Sunday.
Woo!
But in the year in between, I'd regained my fitness. I was looking better, I was feeling better, but there was no real sort of focus to my training other than just sort of keeping fit.
Yeah.
A friend of mine was doing a challenge last year. He was looking to do 7 Ironman distance races over 7 consecutive days.
Wow.
And he was looking for a bit of moral support. So I committed to doing the cycling legs with him. So it's 112 miles cycle for each of the 7 days.
Yeah.
So my training shifted away a little bit away from doing weights, more towards the aerobic to get in shape for that challenge. Mm-hmm. He completed that remarkably. He did an amazing job.
That's incredible.
And his last of the 7 was at Nottingham last year, the Outlaw 2017. And it was at the end of that race that I decided to commit to doing an Ironman of my own.
Did you just feel so excited? Did you get the adrenaline rush from watching everybody and think, I can do this? Or
I mean, I don't. You've probably been to a few of these events, but when the music's pumping, people are coming across the line. It's quite emotional. They've usually got family members with them.
Yeah,
you get this sort of urge, and it kind of bubbles up, and you start thinking, what could I do?
Yeah,
and I've been staring at Matt Turnbull, the chap who did the challenge. I've been staring at his backside on his bike for 6 days with his Ironman tattoo on his left calf bobbing up and down. And I had been kind of wondering about it. And because I couldn't swim, and people have said, you should do triathlon, you'd be really good at it. But because I couldn't swim, I'd always use that as an excuse not to commit to doing any form of triathlon. But then I thought, well, maybe that is a reason to commit to doing a triathlon, to force me to learn to swim. Because I'd always wanted to, but never really had a reason to commit to that.
And do you mean you actually couldn't swim at all, or that you sort of learned a long time ago but never really done it competitively? Or
I could keep my head out the water.
Right.
I could swim a length breaststroke.
Yeah.
Front crawl, I could do 3 or 4 strokes, and then the the lifeguard would look very agitated and sit forward on the seat and ask if it was okay. So no, I couldn't really swim more than half a length.
Wow. So you actually literally started from scratch, had lessons. Did you have lessons every week?
3 times a week, I was either having a lesson or doing my own thing.
Gosh. So it was a big commitment. And when you decided this at the actual event, did you get home and think, did you voice it to anybody first of all, or did you just think?
I did a Facebook Live. I was doing a Facebook Live for Matt crossing the line.
Yeah.
As he crossed the line, we did a bit of an interview with a chap called Dowie Winkle, who's a good friend, who's actually a fantastic swimmer.
Mm-hmm.
And it just kind of popped out my mouth. I said that I was going to do one next year, and I asked Dowie if he'd be my swimming coach. So it kind of been brewing for a while, but I hadn't vocalized it until.
Okay, and did you have a coach for each of the disciplines for the last year?
For swimming, and then I had a triathlon coach, Matt Turnbull, who put my plan together for everything.
Yes, yeah.
I did seek some advice from a running specialist as well, did some video analysis.
Yeah.
I did a bit of video analysis of my swim stroke,
mm-hmm.
And I had some video analysis of my cycling as well. So I had small inputs from a number of people, but had one coach overseeing the whole thing.
Yeah. And in terms of the time that you had to put into it, presumably it was an awful lot every day. Were you doing something every day?
Yeah, it was more than every day. It was twice a day.
Was it? Yeah.
Basically, you have to train as a cyclist, you have to train as a swimmer,
yeah.
You have to train as a runner.
Yeah.
So it's 3 workouts per discipline per week.
Wow.
So that's 9. 2 strength and conditioning, so that's 11, and a Pilates 12. So it's 12 workouts a week.
Goodness me. And was there any point where you thought, do you know what, I can't do this? Or were you so in the zone?
No, there was never a point when I thought, there was never a point where I thought, no, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
There was a point where I thought, maybe I can't do this.
Mm.
8 months into my program it was a 12-month program, and 8 months in, I still couldn't do 2 lengths of front crawl.
Okay.
So the date was creeping closer and closer. And I was beginning to think, what am I going to do? And it was actually Dowie, the swim coach, said, you don't have to do the whole thing front crawl.
Mm-hmm.
I know you want to do the whole thing front crawl, but I think it's politely saying my ego was getting in the way a bit.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if you breaststroke the whole thing or you do a bit of a mixed stroke, as long as you don't roll onto your back, because that's the internationally recognized sign for fish me out, please. As long as you go forwards, either breaststroke or crawl, it's fine.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah. And at that point, I kind of relaxed. I thought, well, that's okay. I know I'll be able to drag myself through it. And when I relax more, that's when the front crawl began to click.
Yeah. Did you have to work on your mindset? I know you and Lindsay are very into, mindset, motivation, and you're both very positive people. Did you have to really pull it out of the bag to get yourself there?
No.
It was sound all the way through.
It was written down, and I just followed the plan.
Yeah.
To the point where, Lindsay had to rein me in a bit. She could see I was getting really focused.
Yeah.
I've heard of bipolar. I had tripolar disorder. I was just so focused. Lindsay said, we are here. You do have a family. You do have other responsibilities. Yeah. You need somebody occasionally just to rein you in and keep you in touch with reality. It can take over.
Day-to-day living, yes. But you're very lucky in that you, or not lucky, it was by design, that you have your own business. So you obviously made the time to commit for the whole year. Was that something that you and Lindsay discussed, and you were happy to put some things aside, or did you just say, sorry, I'm just doing this?
No, I mean, literally, the boys were with Lindsay when I did the Facebook Live. They were at home, and I announced that I was going to do an Ironman the following year.
Yeah.
And the boys said they couldn't repeat what Lindsay said. They just said, "Oh, well, brilliant."
I'm going to lose my husband for a year. Yeah.
I think she said something to the effect of, I've lost him for a year.
Yeah.
Which, well, it depends how you look at it. I mean, it's been an incredible journey, and there's been some highs and lows, but Lindsay's been fantastically supportive.
Yeah.
As I have been to her in different stages of her career and her development.
Yeah.
I probably should have, and in retrospect, would recommend to anyone contemplating it to have a conversation with their significant other. It's a huge commitment. But sometimes things just happen, don't they?
Yeah.
I support Lindsay through her personal development. She's done all sorts of things. So I guess I felt it was just my turn.
Yeah, fantastic. So show us your medal then. I know you've got it there somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
It has to be there.
That is my outlaw, You're an Outlaw medal.
That is amazing. Fantastic. Well done.
So just to clarify, with this term Ironman is actually it's a brand in its own right.
Yes.
So the Ironman distance is swimming 2.4 miles, cycling 112, and then running a full marathon. And that is the Ironman distance. But I haven't done an Ironman race because they're run by the Ironman franchise.
Right. Okay.
So people talk about iron distance triathlons, and that's what I did.
And your total time was 11 hours?
11 hours, 48 minutes, which by all accounts is not bad for a first effort.
No, that sounds amazing. So I love the video of you and the boys running over the finish line. I was so choked watching it. It was incredible. You must have felt elated.
Well, I did, but I was also, they picked up the pace for the last 100 yards, and I could feel my hamstring cramping. So I was just kind of willing it to get across the line without anything dramatic happening. But it was fantastic because I didn't know they were going to be on the finish line.
Oh, lovely.
To do the final bit.
And what did you put it? What was the first thing you put in your mouth? Did you go and did they give you champagne, or did you go and have something sensible? Or what happens at the end?
There's food provided.
Yeah.
But it's all a bit of a whir, to be honest. We had a good number of people from the triathlon club there. So they'd laid on a bit of Prosecco, and the boys had made a cake as well. So I think the first thing which actually went in was a very dry burger, which was horrendous.
Oh, gosh.
I put that to one side.
Yeah.
And I went for the Prosecco.
Good call. I think you deserved it. Well done. Honestly, that is such a fantastic achievement. So do you think you'll ever do another one, or you?
Full distance, probably not. 20 hours a week is probably too much to prioritize. I think I could easily maintain a good base level of fitness, training once a day.
Yeah.
And I could probably aim for a half iron distance. So 1.2 mile swim, about 70 miles on the bike, and then a half marathon. So I could do those sorts of events without it taking over.
Yeah. So you can dip in and out of those as long as you maintain that base level. Yeah.
So I think looking forward, that's what I'd probably be looking to do.
Yeah.
The shorter distances are really heavy on the joints because you're pushing yourself closer to your threshold.
Yeah.
So the sprint and Olympic distances are really tough on your body.
Yeah.
As you get older, you tend to dial it down and do the sort of longer, more endurance events, and they're kinder on the body.
Yeah.
So yeah,
how's your body feeling right now, you know, like a week later?
yeah, we're what, 5 days after. I'm actually fine.
Are you? Yeah.
The first 3 days, it was the old sort of reversing downstairs
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm fine. I was on my bike this morning. I am going to just take it easy. Just it's a huge impact on your body,
Yeah.
you know, part-wise,
Yeah.
joint-wise, muscles, everything. So I took it very easy for 2 or 3 days. I'm just got back in the water last night and did a gentle
Yeah.
this morning.
And you've got a lovely dog to walk, so that'll keep you nice and that sort of gentle exercise to get you out, get your legs working again.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. And in terms of what you were eating, I mean, I know you've always eaten healthily as well, but you must have been putting a lot more calories into your system.
Yeah, it's about 5,000 to 6,000 calories a day.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So how does that break down? Can you break that down for us over the day?
I'm pretty sure I'm 66 kilos. I'm 5'7", so I'm not a big guy, but you know, a big workout and you would burn 2,500 calories.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you could have done that before breakfast.
Yes.
So you have to put the calories in.
Yes.
I started and finished the whole thing over the year, only 1 kilo different. So I got my nutrition really well. So start from a good place, and it'd be easy to lose weight.
Yeah.
But I kept it on. Basically, I would have 6 meals of about 1,000 calories.
Okay. Yeah.
3 of those would be food, normal food, and then 3 would be some form of shake on top of that. Yeah. So breakfast would usually be porridge, eggs, fruit, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Lunch, excuse me, lunch would normally be something like meat or fish with pasta or potato and vegetables. And then an evening meal, I'd probably go more meat, fish, maybe a more complex carb like sweet potato or quinoa, salad. So I'd probably take it a bit easier at the tail end of the day with the simple carbs. I'm not particularly carby. I don't respond well normally to carbs, but basically it's your primary source of fuel. So you need to get them in. Yeah. So generally more simple carbs, middle of the day or post exercise, and then towards the end of the day a bit more complex.
Yeah, yeah. So that in itself requires a lot of discipline, because you've got to be so sort of task orientated. It's not like sitting down and enjoying your food. It's like, I've got to have this, isn't it? So the planning involved in that was quite major.
Yeah, it's a bit of a chore. It feels like a bit of a job.
Yeah.
You need to top up those calories as well, because the shakes won't always be 1,000 calories. So you'd be adding in some oats, you'd be adding some fruit, bananas.
Yeah.
And then grazing on nuts, seeds, maybe a bit of bee pollen, things like that, just to get all the nutrition in.
Yeah, yeah, very well organised. And did you have to take alcohol completely out of your system for the whole year, or did you occasionally have one? I know you're a big drinker anyway.
Oh, I'm a massive drinker.
You are now.
I love beer, I love whiskey, I love wine, but I just knocked the beer and the whiskey on the head completely, so they'd gone for a year.
Yeah.
Wine was a bit more tricky, so I reduced that to about 1 small glass of wine a week.
Yeah, yeah.
So that was what I did for 9 months. And then the last 3 months, none.
Yeah.
Just not because I was doing it to be virtuous or punish myself or anything like that. Simply if I had it, I could feel it in the morning.
Yeah, and you probably want more as well, because once you've had one, you kind of get that taste, don't you? And then it's easier just not to have it.
It's so easy when there's a bottle of wine, particularly if you don't drink much, is if there's a bottle of wine open, it's so easy to just have a little bit and get into a routine of having a little bit every day.
Yeah.
But for me, it was just easier to say I'll have 1 glass at the weekend, and that's what I stuck to.
Yeah. And did you sleep well through all of this? Were you so shattered by the time you got to bed that you went out like a light?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No problem sleeping. I mean, the only problem with sleep was getting enough.
Yeah, you need it for repair, don't you? That's the thing.
Quite often, because I was working normal working hours pretty much through the day, so workouts were early morning or late at night.
Yeah.
So
Gosh.
ideally, I get 8 hours. Quite often, I got 7. Unfortunately, some nights I only got 6, but 8 was the goal.
Yeah, yeah. I suppose as long as it's solid, then you're okay. You feel refreshed in the morning and ready to go again.
But no problem sleeping until probably about a week before, and then you begin to get really hyped up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in and out of sleep. Last week was rubbish.
Was your mind just whirring? Yeah, I can imagine.
Going through the process of what to take, you've got these things called transitions in between different disciplines.
Yeah.
And basically all you have to do is put your shoes and your hat on and off you go and cycle, but somehow it feels really complicated. And
well, I think the sensing your body reacts to it, though, doesn't it? I mean, I remember doing I've never done a triathlon, but I've done the disciplines with my trainer before, where we've done the 3, one after another. And it's actually the change in the way your body has to, quickly go into the next one. You think, oh my God, it just feels really weird, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well,
Don't they call it bricking?
Yeah, bricking it. Yeah, well, the brick sessions are where you put 2 back-to-back disciplines. So
that's it, yeah.
Mainly you're practicing bike to run.
Yeah.
Although, yeah, you can practice, swimming to cycling as well. But the key thing is just modifying your cadence a bit. And one tip is actually getting your cycling cadence towards the end of the bike ride similar to your running cadence.
Yeah.
And that can help your legs do the transition. But it does feel odd when you've been cycling for, for me, it was 5 hours 50 without a break. And then suddenly you're asking your body to run and stand upright instead of being bent over.
Yeah. You feel a bit shaky for a while.
A bit jelly leg, but your legs just feel like they want to go too quick.
Yes.
You actually have to slow your legs down a bit.
Yeah, yeah. Did you take a lot of supplements throughout the last year then to help your body? What did you add in that way?
I did take a lot of supplements. I'd very much take a food first approach and get all the calories in that I can through food. But I definitely feel supplementing the diet is worth considering. And it's I spent a fortune on supplements, but thankfully that's the area of work that I'm involved in. So I can,
which is helpful.
From myself at wholesale, so that did bring the price down. But yeah, aloe vera was probably the primary thing that I did take.
And were you doing Freedom with the additional supplements in, or just the plain gel?
I took both. I took the plain gel, and I also took one with joint supplements, liquid joints, chondroitin and MSM.
Yeah.
The key thing for me, for the reason for taking aloe, is that every compound that they've studied in terms of absorption when you're taking aloe vera is improved. So you get improved absorption of your normal diet and your supplements if you're taking aloe. So that's the primary reason for taking it for me.
Yeah. And was that in the morning, just once a day?
3 times a day.
3 times a day. Yeah. And what else did you add in?
I took fish oils.
Yeah.
As you know, the essential fatty acids are what make up the membrane of every single cell in your body.
Yeah.
So you want good transfer of nutrients and waste products in and out of the cells. You've got to have healthy cell membranes. So loads of fish oil, high quality fish oil for the omegas and the essential fatty acids.
Yeah.
What else did I take? I took L-arginine,
Mm-hmm.
which is a semi-essential amino acid.
Mm-hmm.
And what some people know is the miracle molecule. When it's broken down, it forms nitric oxide. And that is something which relaxes the smooth muscle and causes the blood vessels to dilate.
Mm-hmm.
So it helps get oxygen and nutrients to those cells.
Yeah.
And it also helps take waste products away.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Anything else? I took bee pollen. I would graze on, snack on. That's a complete food.
Yeah.
It's got
Yeah.
all the vitamins, minerals, all the trace elements and bits and bobs that you need to survive. And obviously a good daily vitamin and mineral to make sure you've got magnesium, zinc, iron, all the things which you need.
Just covers everything off, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
yeah, I did supplement my diet.
you did something, well, yes. I think it makes sense when you're doing something so intense. I think you really need it, don't you, on top of the food? Because at the end of the day, we don't 100% know that we're getting everything from the food that we take. So I always think it's good to supplement where necessary, but not rely on, like you say, obviously food is most important.
Yeah.
In terms of who inspires you, whether it's a famous person or the person that you've been coaching, who would you say has really inspired you to make the changes?
There's probably three people I'd identify. The first one was obviously Matt Turnbull, who did the 7 and 7 challenge, the 7 days.
Yeah.
So he's probably to blame for me taking on the challenge myself. There's a chap called Tim Don, and he is the world record holder for the Ironman discipline, 7 hours, 40 minutes for the whole thing.
Wow. And how old is he?
I don't know. He's maybe late 30s.
Okay.
But his story is incredible. I don't know if on YouTube, if you've heard of something called London Real.
Yes, I have. Yeah.
Yeah, he's been interviewed on London Real. It's a fantastic interview.
Oh.
So if you go onto YouTube, you can find it. But he got the world record last year, probably about 13, 14 months ago. And he was then going to go to Kona in Hawaii, which is not the fastest Ironman, but it is the most iconic.
Yeah.
And he wanted to go there as the world record holder and win it. 2 days before, he was actually T-boned by a lorry and he fractured his neck. Just before Kona, when he was getting ready for the race.
Yeah.
And he has spent the last 12 months rehabilitating, 3 months of those in a halo traction, which is this external fixator.
Wow.
And his goal was to come back this year, regardless of that accident, and compete at Kona. And I'm guessing that he'd want to win it. Now, he did his first comeback half in Costa Rica about a month ago, and he won it. He's competed in Ironman in Hamburg about 2 weeks ago, and I think he placed about 7th. So incredible.
Absolutely incredible.
But yeah, if people want to get inspired, not just about triathlon, but about just grit and determination, if they go onto YouTube, London Real, and type in Tim Don, a great interview.
Yeah, I'll definitely go and listen to that. There was a guy, a famous vegan guy called Rich Roll, who did a lot of the ones in Hawaii. I remember reading about him. He's quite fascinating because he did it all on a vegan diet, which people said he'd never be able to do. And he proved them wrong, which exactly shows one size fits one, doesn't it? Really well. Yeah, it's horses for courses, as it were. Okay, well, just one last question. Yep. Do you have a one sort of top tip for healthy living that you would live by and like to tell everybody else about? Something that you've read, an inspiration, or something that you actually implement, or...
one thing's quite tricky. If I could jam two together, I'd probably
Yeah,
say have a plan, but a plan with a reason.
Yeah.
So let me try and think of an example. I was on my bike this morning, feeling a bit stiff in my hamstrings. I know I need to stretch, but if somebody just says you need to stretch, I know I need to stretch, but that isn't a good enough reason for me. I won't do it. I know if I can loosen off my back, loosen off my hamstrings, I'll be able to get a much more aero position. If I can get an extra 2 or 3% tilt on my forward sacral position, I'll probably be able to drop my bars by about an inch. I know that I'll probably knock off, probably increasing the speed by about probably half a mile an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And that would probably knock off about 9 minutes off my Ironman time.
Yeah.
So if I know why I need to stretch, I'll do it.
Yeah.
So it's a bit like if you have a plan and you have a plan with a reason that's motivating to you, you don't question it. So my mum used to have a schedule for her working day, and washing day was Monday, Wednesday, Friday. She'd shop on a Tuesday. She wouldn't wake up in the morning and think, shall I go shopping today? Do I feel tired? She would just get up. It's a Monday morning. She would go shopping because that was the plan. It's no different from my Ironman training. You have to write it down, because you wake up at 5 a.m. and it's pitch black. It's peeing down with rain and it's blowing a gale. We've had the beast from the east this winter. It's been a long, cold winter. It's been a long, hot summer. There's been many times where you think, I don't want to do this. But if it's written down and your goal is crystal clear, you'll just do it anyway. So yes, if there's one tip, it's having a plan, but having a plan with a reason that's motivating to you.
Fantastic. So maybe subconsciously your mum helped you by having that plan all those years ago. Maybe it's in your system.
Yeah.
Clever mum.
Mums help with so many things on so many levels, don't they? And
they do.
I ran the race for Lindsay's mum in memory of her for cancer research.
Lovely. Well, let's wrap up there, but that's absolutely fantastic. So well done. And thank you very much for chatting to me today. And hopefully I'll see you soon. Take care.
See ya.
Bye-bye, Mike.